Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video, I will be sharing the curriculum unboxing from some unit studies that I grabbed for this school year from The Good and the Beautiful. And I also have a couple other unit studies that I have not shared with you guys yet. As I've mentioned in a few of my other videos, I did not have really specific, set curriculum videos for each grade level and every subject. I've just kind of been sharing as I decide what we're going to use, as things come in, as I print things and all of that. I did not put a lot of pressure on myself to decide on every single thing way ahead of time. I like to leave room for if something comes up, adding it in and all of those things. And I also did not want to pile on the curriculum. So I'm going to share with you the 2 unit studies and books that I got from The Good and the Beautiful. And then I want to share with you a few of the units that we'll be doing from the Peaceful Press that is brand new for us this year. We have not used the Peaceful Press curriculum yet, so I'm really excited because it so aligns with what seems to be our style of homeschooling. It's very Charlotte Mason inspired and literature based and projects, and there's recipes and just hands-on activities, and definitely the way that I want learning to be gentle and peaceful and not to feel rigorous or intense in any way for my kids, especially my younger kids. So I will share with you first what I got from The Good and the Beautiful, and then I'll share with you the units that I got from the Peaceful Press. So I have my box here from The Good and the Beautiful. I did not even take off the packaging and the bubble wrap, so I have not looked at these yet, but I'm really excited. So where should we start? I will start with their brand new safety unit. So I have not done technically a safety unit with my kids yet. And when I saw that The Good and the Beautiful was coming out with a brand new updated version, it looked like something that I wanted to do with them. So this is considered a grades 3 through 8 science unit study. If you're new here, I have 5 kids ages 2, 3, 7, 11, and 14. I will plan to do this with my 7, 11, and 14-year-olds. My 14-year-old is technically a 10th grader. My 11-year-old is technically a 6th grader, so he is the only one that would actually fall in this age range, but I use those loosely. Any ages or grades, I pay attention to them and I see what I think might work for my kids and I just go with that. My 2nd grader will be able to understand much of what's in here, and then I'll probably cycle back through either this or something like this with her and my younger 2 later on. So I'm not that worried about it. This unit study comes with 2 books, so I'll show you those, the Turn Away Game and a Mushroom Walk. These are read alouds that come in here. And I will pre-read these because, as you can see, the Turn Away Game is introducing kids to the idea of pornography. I don't even like to say the word. That's how much I don't like to touch that topic. I will decide if certain lessons in here are too much for my 7-year-old and if she will only be in on certain lessons in certain books, or if I screen this book and I decide that this is actually important for her at her age, then I will decide on that. And then the same thing for a Mushroom Walk, which is a gentle book about sexual abuse safety. So I, like I said, will pre-read those and see what I think. There are lesson extensions for 7th and 8th grade, which I'm sure will be great for my 14-year-old as well. Here's the table of contents. What is safety? Fire safety, water safety, electricity safety, natural disaster safety, God gave me a body, safety at home, kitchen safety, technology, media, and peer pressure, and then gun safety. So that is the list of lessons that are in here. It looks very well done as usual with The Good and the Beautiful. They do things so well. I just really appreciate their gentle approach, and I'm really excited to do this with my kids. What I got to go along with this are the safety journals, the student journals. So I got the 3rd through 6th grade one for my 2nd grader. Although it may be a little bit challenging for her, looking through it, I actually think it's going to be good for her. I mean, there's some coloring and puzzles and things like that. I think this will be totally fine for her. And then I decided to get the grades 7 and 8 ones for my 11 and 14-year-olds. Again, Neither of them are in 7th or 8th grade. I have a 6th and a 10th grader. And I say 10th grader, I would have kept him back a year had I known better, not because of his academic ability, but because of his age. He is like almost a year younger than many people in his grade. So 9th or 10th is kind of like how I think developmentally. And then this obviously has more reading and writing and seems to be like it will be just perfect. And I love the idea anytime they can work together and have the same thing when it suits. If it doesn't suit that particular unit or topic or skill that they're learning, then I don't have them work together if it's not what's best. But something like this, it just makes sense. So those are the student journals. And then here are the beautiful, I love the books from The Good and the Beautiful. I have truly fallen in love with pretty much every book that we've gotten from them. And we've gotten quite a few at this point, like all age ranges, all the way from like their beginner, like box A, beginning readers, to chapter, like high school level chapter books. So this is the Turn Away Game. And it looks like, you know, true to The Good and the Beautiful fashion. It is gentle and beautiful. And so like I said, I will pre-read these just to see if I feel like they are going to be appropriate for my 7-year-old or not. So this is The Mushroom Walk. Also with this safety unit is this little cyber safety questions and answers book. Now my kids don't do a ton of screen time, but my older 2 boys do their math online, and sometimes we'll research, and I will sometimes, if they are in my view, allow them to look something up on YouTube. I really don't love some of the things that they can access or that pop up. We haven't had like too much trouble with that. However, I do think this is beneficial for all kids, no matter what level of access to technology they have. So this goes along with that safety unit as well. Then I have been eyeing this unit for over a year now, and I feel like it is the perfect time to do it. And that is the Maturation and Sexual Reproduction Unit Study. And I actually feel like it will tie in well with a couple of those topics in the safety unit. So it seems like it just makes sense. And I'm not sure which one I'll do first. I'll probably peek through these and see which one makes sense to do first. But this one is completely family style. This one actually needs to be bound, so it just comes like in these loose sheets. I probably shouldn't have taken this off, but it's not a big deal because I do have a binding machine. But also some of these things get cut up and things like that, so I may not bind all of the sheets. However, I plan to do this with my 11 and 14-year-old, obviously. I do not plan on doing it with any of my younger children, but I will save this, and if we like it and I like the approach, we will cycle back through it way later for my younger kids. So I will keep you guys posted. Let me know if you've used this unit, your thoughts on it, any of those things. Same thing for the safety. I know the safety one is pretty new, but this one I believe has been around for a while. So I will be doing this with my 11 and 14-year-old, either before or after the safety unit. I'm thinking probably after, but I'm gonna take a good look at everything before I make that final decision. Last thing I do wanna share from The Good and the Beautiful is this book, A Crown for Kate. This is for my 7-year-old. I shared a little while back some books that I had gotten for her from The Good and the Beautiful. I had gotten her Princess Penny Saves the Day, which is a level 2 book. We actually just finished that, I think yesterday. That was one that did not end up being an independent reader for her because she was not quite ready for it as an independent read. So it was actually pretty sweet. We actually did it as a read aloud, just the 2 of us, and then my 2 and 3-year-old were actually with us when we would read it. And it was actually really nice to do a read aloud chapter book with her. We did the same thing with Sophie Mouse. I got her that first book and she got a little bit frustrated with some of the vocabulary in there. So instead of keeping that as an independent reader for her, I ended up doing that as a read aloud. So that's twice now that we've done that. So I don't know if that's an obvious tip or not, but instead of, you know, putting them away till she was ready for them, she seemed to be into the story, but just wanted more support. So we did it as a read aloud, and oftentimes what I would do is I'd have her read a sentence or 2 in between what I was reading, or sometimes a short paragraph, and help her through it. And it was actually a great connection point for us. But I did find that she's not quite at the level 2 yet for independent reading, which makes sense because we haven't even technically started 2nd grade yet. But the 1A book that she got, which, what was the name of that one? Something in the King, and she really loved it, and it was an independent read for her. And then so this one should be just a little bit higher in level because this is 1B, and so I thought this will work for an independent reader for her. And looking at it, it looks just perfect. It does have less text. It does look like it's a little bit more simple in terms of the vocabulary, and these are just such sweet stories. So I'm really excited for her because I know she's going to get excited when she sees this book. So that is everything that I got from The Good and the Beautiful. I will link The Good and the Beautiful down below for you, but I also want to share with you a couple of the units that I have prepped from the Peaceful Press that I plan to do with my kids this year. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about this first one because I did share this in a recent video about read alouds and book studies that we would be doing, and that is the Playful Pioneers. I just wanted to share because I'm sharing the other Peaceful Press units. I just wanted to share this one in case you missed that video. The Playful Pioneers is a year-long curriculum for elementary aged children, and it is literature based and Charlotte Mason inspired, and it uses its main series as the Little House on the Prairie. And so we will be doing this year with all of my kids, even if the only part that my older kids do are jumping in on the recipes, and obviously the read alouds we all do together anyway, but some of the other, and like there's prayer and different things that we will definitely do together. But obviously some of the written work and those kinds of things will be more for my 7-year-old and a little bit maybe with my 3-year-old. So I just wanted to share that really quick in case you missed that video. But the other 2 units that I grabbed from them are from the Peaceful Preschool. And the first one that I'm really excited about is this autumn guide. And the reason I'm really excited about this is because if you saw my Let's Talk Preschool video, I am not choosing a specific like year-round preschool curriculum for my 3, almost 4-year-old, because I just don't feel the need to. We have plenty of resources and materials and units and things like that that will engage him in learning, and I'm really more concerned about him playing and learning through play. However, what I liked about the Peaceful Preschool, especially this particular guide, the autumn guide, is this is designed for ages 3 through 7. And so him being 3 going on 4 and my 7-year-old just having turned 7 a month ago, this has things in it that will engage both of them. So I love any opportunity to combine units, to not have everyone separate. I really love that. And I just love how beautifully done this is. This is a month-long unit as opposed to like the Playful Pioneers is a year-long unit. This is a month-long, so we'll probably do this the month of September. I'm also okay if this takes us 2 months or 6 weeks. So I probably will do it more like six to 8 weeks and just do it through September and October because we have other units that we're doing, and I don't like to do a ton of book work each day, even though this is more of a project-based, hands-on. Again, there's recipes and crafts and different things like that in there. There's copy work and memory verses, like there's lots of Bible verses to songs to help them remember. What else is in here? There's a schedule for each week. So it shows you like exactly what you're doing, like week 1, these are the scriptures for each day, what you're doing with them, the read alouds that you're reading. What definitely made me want to get this one was there are already fall books that I have and that I plan on reading with my kids that are in here. So instead of just reading the books, we'll do fun little activities, phonics activities, and recipes and crafts that go along with the books that are already planned out for me. And then it tells you what phonics activities to do, counting skills, practical skills, art skills, and then nature and science at the bottom. It tells you the supplies you need for each week, and then each day exactly what you're doing. So like week 1, Monday, exactly what you need to do, and it's scheduled for 4 days a week, which is why I said we'll probably do 6 to 8 weeks because we'll probably do it 2 to 3 times a week. And so what I did is I just printed what I would consider like the teacher's guide pages, and I printed and bound those. And then anything that would need to be printed on cardstock, like these little flashcards, I printed separately on cardstock. And then the actual pages for copy work and things like that, I just print separately on regular paper. there aren't enough of them for me to want to bind them. So I don't know, I may have her like cut off the margins and put this in her notebook because we do notebooking, and that'll just be a place to keep them all. But there aren't a lot of worksheets, which is what I like about the curriculum. So she just has some copy work and a couple other things that go along with it. And then it's more about like engaging with like the whole scripture that is here is also separated out into individual cards for each word, so you can put the scripture together. And it's very hands-on, play-based, Charlotte Mason inspired. So really excited about that autumn unit. I also printed the Meadow Guide, and this is very similar to where it is a 4-week unit. This one is for ages 3 through 5. So what I plan on doing with this one is I think I'm going to save this for springtime, because then my 4-year-old, well, he'll be 4 at the time, will be like 4.5 by then, and this will be more geared towards him, but I will bring in my 2 who will be 3 by then, and my 7-year-old, because even though some of the skills she'll be above those, she'll enjoy the stories and the crafts and the recipes and things like that. So that's my plan for using the Meadow Guide. It is set up very much the same way, where you have your daily lessons, you have your week at a glance, your supplies, there is copy work and all of those things, and then also flashcards. I did not print all of the flashcards. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention about how I plan for these. So back to Playful Pioneers really quick. I only printed the first 2 months. That's why it looks so thin, and then I'll print more as I go. These, I printed the entire thing because it's only a month long, but as far as the flashcards and the student pages, I only printed the first week. And then I may print those weekly, or I may decide eventually to print them all. I'm not sure about that. And what I do is I just tuck them inside. So nothing fancy. If you saw my homeschool room tour video, I showed how I store my units and things like that. So if you didn't see that, go back and check out that video from last week. Like I said, the Meadow Guide is very similar in terms of how it's set up. And the only thing that I did print was these little Montessori 3-part cards for wildflowers, because we may actually just use these right now, because we're seeing so many wildflowers this time of year, end of summer, early fall. We see a lot of these, especially different places that we go. So I actually plan to use these, and then I'll put them away for winter and pull them back out for the Meadow Guide. And I'm really excited about both of those units. And after doing the autumn unit, I may decide I want to grab some more of them. Like they have a mountain one, they have a winter one. They all look really beautiful, but again, I didn't want to go crazy and get the whole year worth. I just wanted to start small with the 2 that I was really, really excited about, and then go from there. So that is everything that I had to share with you as far as unit studies that we are doing that I hadn't shared yet. I will link the Peaceful Press down below, along with the discount code that you can use to purchase any of the Peaceful Press curriculum. They have stuff all the way through 3 years old up through like middle school. So there is definitely something in there for most families if you have not tried them yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting a look at some of the unit studies that we'll be using and how we'll be using them in our homeschool this year. Let me know if you've used any of these curriculums or unit studies down below in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're a new subscriber or you just found my channel today, please introduce yourself down in the comments below. I love to get to know you guys and connect and just link arms in this homeschooling and motherhood journey. If you're not already following me over on Instagram, definitely connect with me over there as well at rooted_homelife. I share more day-to-day things that we're doing over here, more inside peeks, whether it be in stories or posts or reels, and you can always say hi to me over there in DMs as well. So I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos, and until next time, stay rooted.